what we're expecting to see. Fort Worth, Texas, this is kind of the beginnings of where this storm is going to take shape. We have icing threats, we have dangerous cold, and there will be some sleet and snow to track. This is potentially historic winter storm spanning from Texas, and then we take it across to the eastern seaboard. So the lay of the land, the footprint here is really, I think, one of the more incredible features of this.
It really is. I have a hard time remembering a storm that was like this with that Arctic air in place and the ability that we have to see so much moisture generated in the atmosphere. But all of these ingredients are working together to still show that we've got an impactful system. And just because there might be some slight tweaks, let's say some slightly warmer air in the southeast, it doesn't mean that the impacts are going to be less with this storm. It just means a different state's going to get hit real hard.
That's true. I mean, you just take the footprint of the worst of the impacts, you shift the real estate.
That's it.
That for cities, I'm thinking like Atlanta. That's one that I've got my eye on. But for the I-40 corridor, Texas, and then we take it into Little Rock, Nashville, there's a pretty strong signal that we are going to see some really significant ice impacts. We have our winter storm warnings that have been upgraded across the heart of the Central Plains into parts of the mid-Mississippi. And then newly issued a winter storm watch for Boston, parts of New England, expanding those to the eastern seaboard.
There is growing confidence that we could have the significant snow extend into New England, which you remember just, what was it, 2-3 days ago? There was even a question if the Northeast and New England would be at play here. I think that speaks to how a forecast as we get closer to it. And also, Jane, the fact that we've had recon missions from the hurricane hunters into these systems.
I mean, the thing is where we were 2 days ago versus where we are today, we're getting real data now to be ingested into these models. And that's the starting point, as opposed to a random, let's X marks the spot here and then see what happens.
Yeah, and that forecast and how it'll evolve affects the southern plains this morning, even where that snow potential is growing. Looks as if maybe through the Midwest, the highest corridor for heavy snow is a little farther north. I think St. Louis is going to be at play here now. So we'll see how things all shape up, but Atlanta might have some rain on Sunday.
Yes, I was looking at that temperature profile. I think nonetheless, though, Atlanta, you're listening to this forecast. No, you still need to prepare. I think at this point, anyone just needs to have a plan in place to get through this weekend and perhaps bleeding into the next few days. The icing threat, now we added this contour or this kind of shading, the sleet potential. That's important because this is the line in which we're going to see a transition from freezing rain and ice to now the snowy ice mix that is just an absolute mess.
And I think because I look at the screen a lot, that video that we're showing is not from a winter storm. That's from the lake effect event that we had, I think, earlier this week in Michigan.
Down below
that
us.
Huge pileup has nothing to do with this. In fact, ice was not even around. It was just
pure snow and visibility.
This has a potential to really be more crippling where we see that significant ice set up. And I think that's where I'm concerned when you look at the Carolinas, and then, into the places, even West Virginia. We're going to have to pay attention to parts of Kentucky. I think the Bluegrass state is not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, in the last 24 hours, I mean, to your point, when you see a slight shift north, Kentucky, the Bluegrass state, was purely in the snow.
I know.
But now if you bring a little bit more of that mixing and that freezing rain into play, I mean, that just makes everything more challenging, especially when it comes to treating roads and then also to clearing some of this snow and ice that's going to settle up across the area. And obviously we have the concern for power outages, widespread. This is not just during the event, during the storm, but something that could continue on in the days thereafter.
Because there is a signal that after this system exits, that cold air is going to linger and it will be very cold. In fact, signal that for the rest of the month, we will be dealing with east of the Mississippi River temperatures below average. I mean, heck, maybe even east of the Rockies through parts of the plains. But that's wild, Jane. Take a snapshot of that map and let's see what happens.
Let's see how this evolves.
My gosh.
I wanted to put it up here. We're going to talk more about the snow potential and, of course, what's coming to the Northeast in just a moment. But